Hi there. So glad you tuned in this week. I decided to do it a little early so that I could do it on July 4th. So happy Independence Day, July 4th, 2020. I am so glad you tuned in. And, I'm really, really happy about this day. Now, some people say, well, why are you happy? Because you are a descendant of Africans. You guys were not free during that time. It'd be two, three more generations before you got there. But, you know, it depends on your perspective of how you look at things. I mean, one of the first to die for the Revolutionary War was Crispus Attucks, and he was an African American. And, the fight for freedom has been a long and tough one, but it was one that we didn't fight alone. There were many Caucasians who were abolitionists that just did everything. And people, there were soldiers who died. They were dying. They were dying for the freedom of my people, and they were Caucasian. So you have to look at this whole thing, the whole perspective of everything. Even those that are protesting now, they're not all just African Americans. It's a little bit of everybody, and it was always that way. And sometimes we forget that because those who were cruel and those who kept us oppressed, they reigned, it seemed like, for so long, or they ruled for so long. So we have to remember there's a whole lot of good in this country. I mean, the fact that we can protest at all and express ourselves without any fear of, being arrested and things like that. Now, you may say, well, no, there's things that happen, but let me tell you something. I was born in 1960, so when I was a teenager, the big thing that was going on was what people were going through in the communist countries. And of course, what we were going through ourselves, we had our protests and things like that, but it was a little different than here. Over there, you had the massive government that was actually perpetrating crimes. There were no courts. There was nothing to advocate for. People couldn't protest. Daddy could not show up for dinner one night, and you never saw Daddy again. And it was perfectly legal. Some of the stories are just horrible that you hear of what they went through during that time of communism. Harlan Popov, I believe his name was. I remember reading his book, Tortured for His Faith, and also Elie Wiesel reading his book, Night, during that time. And that he was a Holocaust survivor. So there are terrible, terrible governments that truly oppress you. If you don't think you're free or have a very significant amount of freedom, you really need to look into your history. And it's not history from that long ago. I mean, with Harlan Popov's Search for His Faith, I was alive then. With Elie Wiesel, that was my mother's time. In the in the pages of history, that's like yesterday. So we have a lot to be thankful for in this country. I love the United States of America, and hey, let's appreciate what we have and look at the whole historical picture. It really is a great country, and I hope it's going to get much, much better. You guys have a terrific 4th of July. Bye bye.